Hi there, welcome to the Perfume Experience. My name is Rodney and today we're going to do a review of a very popular fragrance from the house of Jovan. So we have Sex Appeal, we have Musk and we have White Musk. Now this is a brand that is worn by a couple of generations, like your father, your grandfather would definitely have this, and this is so nostalgic to try it. So I really wanted to try these fragrances and experience how they are. So on that note, let's get started. So the first fragrance that we are going to talk about is Jovan Sex Appeal. Okay, so Jovan Sex Appeal, I think of the three, I found this very masculine. Okay, so to say, this is like your typical old school kind of a fragrance. Now if I put this on, and I actually put this on in the morning today because I really wanted to try it, and I'd worn it the other day also. This is a fragrance that really kind of instills that nostalgic feeling in you. The moment you put it on, you will smell good spicy element, okay, like some kind of a pepper or probably some spicy elements like that. That note is right at the top is a spicy element that you get, and at the base you really look at some kind of green elements, but I think there is a bit of musk element in all of Jovan fragrances. So there's a musky texture and there is a nice spicy element. Now this will immediately remind you of something like if you worn the denim aftershave, right? So you have that spice element that you see. That is the kind of spiciness that you would kind of feel on this particular fragrance. And then there is that light hint of sweetness, a bit of ambriness, a little bit of sweetness. Now, not the typical, sweet kind of fragrance, but then, that ambriness when it becomes as a little bit of caramelized sugar, like that kind of a element to it, which is very nice. Okay. And this is cologne. Okay. So definitely, you can't really expect a great performance in terms of lasting forever, but then still you easily get about 4 to 5 hours from this easy. And in apparels, you can get about 6 to 7 hours. Now, after about an hour or so, when this, that initial linearness is there of that spice element and that musk element and that bit of ambriness, it moves down to a dry down, and the dry down has got a bit of talcum note to it, a little bit of powdery note to it, becomes very mild, very pleasant. Now this is the kind of fragrance that you should definitely wear if you want no nuances about who thinks what about you, and you just want to wear something and be that manly person. Then this is a masculine fragrance. Now surprisingly, while this is a masculine fragrance, I think this will go very well even for women. So women who want to move away from those typical floral fruity fragrances and who want to wear something that stands out, then definitely you should try this. This is a fantastic fragrance for old school nostalgia. Nice element of spice, nice element of amber, nice element of creaminess to that, and a little bit of sweetness to it. Very beautiful fragrance, Sex Appeal, and this is about 88 ml. All of them are 88 ml. Now on Amazon you can get this for about 850 rupees, but then at the end of the video I will tell you a source from whom you can get it for a way lesser price and for a fantastic deal. Okay, so on that note, this is Jovan Sex Appeal. Good projection, at least about 3 feet, good performance, and a lovely old school fragrance. If you've been wanting to try something old school from branded house, then this is one of those fragrances that you should definitely try. This is from the house of Jovan. This is Sex Appeal. So the next fragrance on this house is called Musk, and this is also another beautiful fragrance. Now this particular fragrance, if you look at the juice color, this is more orangish, okay, whereas this is more gold kind of a note. Okay, so this is Musk. Now the thing about Musk is this has got carnation, this has got some spices, it's got some bergamot, lime, it's also got musk, it's got some woody tones as well. So the carnation and the spice elements, there is a little bit of pepperiness as well, and the bergamot note as well. So if I were to put this on and smell it, this is very different. Okay, it's very nice. It's got more of that floral element, it's got more of that aromatic element, it's got a little bit of that powdery element as well, and it's got that spiciness. Okay, now this is, I think, a much more cooler take on what you want to wear. So if you want to So if you want to step away from this masculinity kind of a thing, and then you want a more modern kind of a masculinity, then you can definitely consider this particular fragrance. Because in the musk element, what happens, while musk is there, while woody notes are there, and there's a bit of that citrus element that is coming across, what really stands out is the coronation flower, and that is bringing out a nice element of flowery element to it, that floral element, and a bit of that powderiness is there. So the powdery element is there across almost all of them, but this is a little more potent, okay, a little more potent in terms of that flower note, and because of which this becomes a more appealing, mass appealing fragrance. Okay, now this can be carried out by both men and women, unisex in my opinion, though the name says musk, and typically don't think this is a standout all-out musk fragrance. It is not, because of that citrus element at the top, and because of that slight spiciness, and because of that coronation flower. This becomes a very nice, gentle smelling, warm, pleasing personality kind of a fragrance. So really good one again. Now surprisingly, this has got very good performance. On skin easily you will get about 6 to 7 hours, but on apparels you will get 8 to 10 hours, even 12 hours. So in fact easily 12 hours I would say, but then it can vary slightly depending on where you are. But then this is a very good fragrance. You got to put about 4 to 5 sprays or 6 sprays at least, because this will kind of come down initially after about the first 1.5 hour. After that, the floral note goes down, and it's more on that base note of musk and woody note, so it carries throughout that. So you got to put about 5-6 sprays just to be very confident on this. But a beautiful fragrance, very good value for money, guys. Really, I'm telling you, from the house of Jovan, I really didn't think these are that good in terms of the fragrances, especially considering these have been there in the market for more than 10-15 years. So you really think these have done really well to stand time. So really classic fragrances. This is musk from the house of Jovan, and if you want a bit of that floral element. So the last one on this house is called white musk, and I've tried the white musk as well. Now the white musk has got a little bit of a different note profile. Now this, on the other hand, so the color looks a little like, if you look at the colors, you can see that this is more orange, this is more yellow, this is a little in between. So this is a white musk. Now this has got apple, green apple, it's got geranium, it's got a bit of citrus elements, it's got white musk, and it's got a little bit of clove or cinnamon, one of these notes as well. So this is also a very nice fragrance. Now this, according to me, is more leaning on the floral side because of a little bit of that geranium. It's also got thyme also, and because of that apple note, it's got a mint note as well. So this is more minty, more freshy, more apple oriented, that kind of a fragrance. A really nice fragrance on the whole. Because of that white musk, it brings up that nice element to it. Okay, so because of that mint also, and the green apple, it's got a very nice light citrusy, light you can say fresh, musky, aromatic kind of a fragrance. Oh wow, this is nice. Now the only part that I realized about white musk is that this one doesn't last as long as the others. This, whenever I've tried it, I've got only about 2 to 3 hours, and the projection is a little softer on this because probably it's leaning more towards the floral element than the others. So so projection is a little low. Performance is about at least about 4 hours roughly, and even on apparel this kind of goes off in about 6 hours time. Okay, at least that was the case in my opinion. Whenever I've worn it, I felt it that way. But in terms of scent profile, this is a nice profile because of that apple and that mint. It's really nice. Now the similar profile is here also. There is a bit of mint on this one as well, but I feel between these two, between the white musk and this, white musk is more mass appealing, and it's more for occasion when you don't want to be too loud, when you want a fragrance all for yourself, then I think you can consider this. So between white musk and musk, what should you choose? So if you want a more louder fragrance, go for musk, and then if you want a more milder fragrance, then go for white musk. Now this has got a little bit of a fruity note to it, like apple, it's got mint, and it's got geranium. This on the other hand has got more of white flower and more musky smoky, it's got a bit of woody element, and it's a little more powerful, right? So those are the two subtle differences between the two. So that is my opinion about all three of them. It has been a really nice experience to try these fragrances, and definitely this will be in my shelf for a long time. Whenever you feel like you want to go back in time and wear something that is different, so these are really good to try. So I told you that these can be got on Amazon for about 850 rupees or so, and these are all made in the USA. Okay, they're not made here, so they are imported fragrances. Now 850 on Amazon roughly, so you should get about 800 to 850 rupees roughly. I see some sellers even selling 950 as well. But if you can contact a person that I will put on the link on the description of the video, his name is Varun David or Rishabh Narula from MOM Perfumes. They got this deal for 675 rupees for each. Okay, so these two I had got from him. Sorry, not Sex Appeal. So White Musk and Musk I got from him for a very less price, whereas this I got from Amazon for about 800 plus. So really good price point. So if you want a good price and you want to contact and get these, you can definitely contact Varun David and Rishabh Narula of Mom Perfumes to get these for a very good price. I'll put their contact details below. So these are 88 mls and they should definitely last you for a good time, right? So nice fragrance. But if you ask me which is going to be my pick of the three, I would say Sex Appeal. For me, this is more old school, that fresh, that spice note right at the top, and that green element with that musk is like really captivating, really nice. Okay, I mean, nobody does this nowadays, but somehow you have the tendency to pick up the cap and smell, right? So yeah, so that is my thought about from the house of Jovan. There is also another one called Black Musk. I have not been able to get that. There is also something called Oud, which I have not been able to get. If I get this, I will do those videos as well. So definitely give them a try. If you like old school fragrances, you should definitely consider this. So if you like the content that I bring, please like and subscribe. It will really make a lot of difference. And wear these kind of fragrances, look at more Indian houses. There is a lot of work happening here. So follow my channel for that. Follow me on Instagram and on YouTube for more videos. Thank you. Take care. Bye now.